because there was nothing in the textbooks that I was studying. I was in the biomedical physiology and kinesiology department at Simon Fraser University. Nothing in the textbooks could describe, well, what happened to me during that training, that Qigong training for 4 days, 2 hours each day. And just to give you an idea of even back then, 31 years ago, Master Sha had such a big presence. Our class was held in the aisles of a warehouse. And Terry will have visited this warehouse before. Some of our training was in the room next door to the warehouse. He would stand up there in the aisles of the warehouse as if it was the most normal thing. And he would just be standing there like the master, leading our class. And what was he teaching us? Lower Dantian, Snow Mountain, and Message Center. And at the end of each session, he would direct qi into the lower dantian. And those who have been studying with Master Sha for quite some time will understand that that is the power pack of our body. And if you haven't been studying with Master Sha, you may be familiar with the martial arts, and the martial artists developed that lower dantian. It's just a fist-sized energy center located just below the level of the navel and inside the body, from which the qi is then directed, for instance, in the famous breaking of the bricks by the martial artist. And so there were no books back then. Master Sha hadn't written any books. He has since written over 30 books, 11 of which became New York Times bestsellers. 4 went on to become number 1. And so he developed, from the time I met him, and at that time he had just newly come to North America. And as I mentioned, I was in my PhD studies at that time, and I shifted my attention to the studies of the biofield. And so I'm really honored now to be part of the Tao research team, working under Dr. Peter Hudoba. So the topic for tonight actually is the interest was sparked because I was recently back east, and I was meeting up after a very important workshop at the Master Sha Wellness Center in Toronto. I met up with one of my family members who's made it his life's work to purify wastewater. And I was just reminded about how we are actually him and I are both in the same line of work. He's purifying wastewater, which is, that in the environment. And Master Sha, one of his famous one-sentence secrets, and he has a lot of them, is if a fish lives in polluted water, the fish either gets sick or dies. So if our environment has polluted water, then eventually and all of the living beings will get sick and die because we rely on the water from our environment. So this family member is in the business of treating the wastewater, and our work with Master Sha is internally purifying the water in our body, not only the water in the body, but our entire field. So this is what led to my interest in the topic for this evening, and I hope that you will enjoy it. It goes over some of what I have been studying and learning over many decades. So I'm just going to bring up the PowerPoint presentation now. And if anyone has a question as we're going along, just to go ahead and put it in the chat box, and I'll ask Sharon and Terry to draw my attention at appropriate intervals. We will be doing some Q&A time. Okay, so let me just bring up the PowerPoint presentation now. Let me bring it up to the okay. I must say that I have been starting screen sharing. Will stop other participants. Computer sound share. I hope this is okay. Okay, so here we go.
Perfect. We see it.
Okay, wonderful. All right. Now, if I had my assistant with me, I would be more adventurous with this, but starting with our first slide here. So once again, I'm so honored and grateful. Thank you, Terry, for inviting me to be a guest speaker tonight. Follow Tao, be like water. So for those of you who may not be familiar with the word Tao, it is a word that was coined by a philosopher, an ancient philosopher, Lao Tzu, in his famous text, Tao Te Ching, which has been translated. It's one of the two most well-known texts by humanity. The Bible and the Tao Te Ching are very well-known texts. And in this text, Lao Tzu coined the word Tao, even though he said, the Tao that can be spoken with words is not the true Tao. But then he went on in the entire Tao Te Ching to try to explain to us what Tao is. Tao is the source and the ultimate creator of everyone and everything. And you may know, and have a different word for this ultimate creator. And so just to let you know that whatever word it is that is works for you, we are likely talking about the same thing, the ultimate creator and the source. Tao. So follow Tao. We want to follow Tao, which is also the universal principles and laws, because when we follow Tao, we flourish. And be like water. So we'll be talking a little bit about that today in the one of the chapters from the Tao Te Ching. So I've got my a web page link here, and if you would be interested in having a copy of the slides later, and I'll remind you as well how you can get a copy of those slides. So moving on to the next slide. Okay, so I always start my presentations, and I have a weekly session which is on a little recess right now called Modern Physics Meets Ancient Wisdom. I always start the presentations with this quote from the Tao Science book, which was co-written by Dr. and Master Zhigang Sha and Dr. Wulin Shu, who is a quantum physicist and string theorist. The more you know how little you know. And I think it's really important that this is a huge topic. First of all, Tao is a huge topic and water is a huge topic. So we're just going to be skimming the surface tonight. But maybe you'll hear something that you haven't heard before, or something that will go deeper into your consciousness as we go through. So I'm going to do the slideshow version here, so we get okay. So we're starting off with the ancient wisdom. So water has been revered and has been actually employed by the various faith paths, the Dharma throughout written history. Holy and blessed water in these faith paths, the Buddhism, Christianity, Sikhism, and Islam. So not only water is itself a universal servant, but messages can be conveyed into the water. And these were part of the ancient faith paths throughout history. The indigenous cultures as well revered water and held ceremonies The natural world is very much a part of the indigenous societies and their path that they follow. In various cultures as well, for instance, in Christianity, baptism in water, and in Hinduism, the Ganges River is considered holy, and its water is used for purification and cleansing rituals. And as I was mentioning previously, the Tao Te Ching has a chapter dedicated to speaking about water and comparing it to the Tao. So one of the phrases from the chapter 8 is the highest kindness, Tao, benefits all things. And there's actually I'll put a link in the chat box later if you have not seen it before, but you can have free access to all of the chapters of the Tao Te Ching. Master Sha's generously offered them in his online TV station, which is free to join. You do have to register to have access to it, but it's free access to all. And so in chapter 8, in the summary, and so it is a little bit more than an hour long, this session that's led by Master Sha, and it includes blessings. So I would highly recommend, if you have not done so already, that you do go to that chapter. But he summarizes the chapter by saying that water has 3 beautiful virtues. Water benefits and nourishes everyone and everything. Water does not fight with anyone or anything. One of the analogies is that, with a rock, when water is dripping on a rock, it's not fighting with that rock, but drip after drip after drip. It may take years, it might take centuries. Eventually, that dripping water can make a hole in that hard rock. And thirdly, water stays in the lowest places with humility. We're all familiar with our toilets and the water, including wastewater. As I was mentioning, my family member is in the business of purifying wastewater. Well, water is used in industries and in cooling systems in all kinds of ways. It serves unconditionally. It goes and stays in the lowest places with humility. The second part of this summary is talking about how water is like saints. I'm not going to go over this part so much, but I do recommend that you go back, even if you've watched it once, go back and watch it again about how water is like the Tao. So moving on to more recently, so all of these things were known intuitively, or the traditions were passed on from the spiritual and the faith path traditions, how important water is. More recently, these two, I'm going to go over two researchers who have shown that water actually can be a healer. So I'm starting with Dr. Bernard Grad, who was born in 1920. He was an associate professor at the McGill University. He actually was a student there and became a professor. He studied, he researched in his earlier years the endocrine system, aging, and cancer, but he became interested in healers. And he actually studied under Wilhelm Reich from the United States, who was a alternative healer. and got interested in that line of work, and had to keep it to himself because, as you can imagine, in the conventional universities, especially back at the time when he was doing these research studies, he definitely had to keep it to himself in order to keep his position at the university. So one of the lines of research he did is that he researched the growth rate of seeds and plants that had been watered with water that had been held or treated by a healer, a lab technician, and a depressed patient. And he found a significant increase in the growth rate of the seeds and plants that were exposed to the treated water. That is, the water that had been treated by the healer. The second researcher I'll speak about is Dr. Dean Radin. Now, he's a very interesting man. I had the honor of meeting him at the Institute of Noetic Sciences in California, in their lab. And he started out as an electrical engineer. He got both his bachelor and master's degrees in engineering. He got his PhD in educational psychology, and he worked for 22 years at the Princeton University Engineering and Anomalies Research Lab. It was called the PEAR, P-E-A-R lab, which studied psychokinesis and remote viewing and other aspects of the effects of consciousness and how they could influence machines, etc. You may be familiar with your effect on, I know for myself, my effect on my computer. If I am get myself too anxious, or if my emotions become unbalanced, I can actually shut my computer down. You may have noticed the similar things that your energy field, your consciousness can affect your computer as well, and other electronics. Well, he had the honor and the joy. I can imagine how he's a very joyful person when I met him. For 22 years, he was researching in this lab at the Princeton University. So this particular article that I'm referencing here, a spectroscopic analysis of water treated by and in proximity to energy medicine practitioners. So he did this research study as the chief scientist at the Institute of Noetic Science. And there were significant results, both by the water that was treated by the energy practitioners, and when a lanyard with water in it was placed on the practitioner as they were offering healing to a healing partner. And so if you would like a copy of these slides, you can click on that link and go to the study yourself. Next, we go to Masaru Emoto. Some of you may be familiar with him because he actually has a connection with Dr. and Master Zhigang Sha. He did studies of freezing water that had been in some cases treated by a healer. In some cases, a word was placed, was put on a vase of water. And so these are crystals that had the words, thank you, wisdom, truth, eternal, angel, I love you, peace, and the one negative message, you fool. And you can see the beautiful crystals with the positive messages and the disorganized picture of the water with the negative message. I put a link here for another water crystal photo from the Fountain of Lourdes in France, which is famous. People do pilgrimages to this fountain. It has a long history of people being healed of long chronic conditions, in some cases very serious conditions. by bathing in the water at the fountain. It's also a beautiful crystal. Okay, so the interesting thing about this, of course, is that humans, we have our bodies have about 70% are composed of about 70% of water. And so you can imagine what having these beautiful words in your field can do. And Master Sha has been teaching for the last, especially the last decade, the 10 greatest natures of Tao, which are also the 10 greatest qualities for humans to embody and for humans to bring into their field. And what are these 10 greatest natures? Greatest love. So it's really wonderful that the crystal with I love you, with the message of I love you, was very beautiful. Greatest love is unconditional love. Greatest love melts all blockages. This is the one sentence secret that Master Sha has shared with us for greatest love. And this is the nature of Tao. Greatest forgiveness brings inner joy and inner peace. And all of the faith paths, these are qualities that all of the faith paths share with their proponents. Greatest compassion boosts energy, stamina, vitality, and immunity. And you know what it wasn't until I had an experience myself of bringing a beloved soul family member to the emergency department and spending the whole night there with her that I'd understood how it is that greatest compassion can boost energy, stamina, vitality, and immunity. And what I experienced was that when I was serving, and the both of me, myself, and the soul family member, we were chanting love, peace, and harmony all night long in the emergency department. So we were serving, and as we were serving with our greatest compassion, we were being served by the higher dimensions, by the divine Tao source. And this boosted our energy, stamina, vitality, and immunity. I did not feel tired that whole night. And even on the drive home in the wee hours of the morning. Greatest compassion, also greatest compassion for ourself. You know, if we don't have compassion for ourselves, we can actually block the energy, stamina, vitality, and immunity within ourselves. So it's so important to have that greatest compassion. Greatest light transforms all life. And when it comes right down to it, all Dharma, all faith paths know about light and they know about positive and negative. They give it different words, but it's in all of those faith paths. Greatest humility heals and prevents ego. Ego is the biggest blockage. The word enemy is even used. It's the biggest enemy in our life. Greatest harmony. So when we can overcome the ego, then it's the secret of success, you know, when we can overcome humility, when we can have greatest love, greatest forgiveness, greatest compassion, when we can be open to the light, and with all humility, greatest harmony it's the success in the families, it is success, and in businesses, it's success, is that greatest harmony. And of course, when there's greatest harmony and there's greatest success, there's going to be greatest flourishing. And this means more resources to serve more. And greatest gratitude, of course, we all have been helped in our path, in our families, in our schools, in our universities, through our faith paths, in our spiritual journey. Having the greatest gratitude is the key for further progress. Greatest service. This is the purpose of life. And Master Sha teaches about this in every one of his books. Almost all of them open with this statement. The purpose of life is to serve. I have dedicated my life to this service. And ultimate achievement in one's physical life and one's spiritual journey is greatest enlightenment. So these are the 10 greatest natures of Tao, and also the 10 qualities of humans to embody. So these would be good words to paste on your water bottle. So we'll just go through these slides and then we'll go to the questions. So as I was mentioning earlier, I've had the honor of working with the Shaw Research Foundation under Dr. Peter Hudoba and the rest of the team. And there are 3 studies that are open right now. So there's a study of love, peace, and harmony meditation techniques, both Tao Song and Tao Calligraphy. We're going to do a practice today. Participants must be 19 years of age or older, so we are extending the research that has been done already. The study is open exclusively to individuals residing in the USA or Canada. And applicants should be new or relatively new to the Love, Peace, Harmony Foundation. And this is a link where you can go to, if you go to lovepeaceharmony.org and /research-study, it'll take you right there. Otherwise you have to go through the ways to connect. There are 2 studies that actually include energized water. And once again, the participants need to be 19 years or older and this is one of the studies, have been diagnosed with depression and or anxiety. And another of the studies is anyone who is 19 or over that has been diagnosed with any chronic illness. And participants will receive free meditation classes. At the moment that includes classes with the Tao Calligraphy light wall twice a week, and subtle energy transmissions, including, so a subtle energy transmission, we know them as Tao golden light ball, golden liquid spring treasures. And this participants are also given energy infused water, and all of these are as gifts. Click here. This is the first step to fill out the contact form. So I think I better put these in the chat box for those. But once again, you have the opportunity to have a copy of the slides later. Okay, so there's a wonderful video, and we're going to practice instead of doing this one, but you can go to the YouTube channel of Dr. and Master Sha, and there's a beautiful video on water that changes your life. And once again, as I mentioned, Masaru Emoto and Master Sha met. I believe Master Sha actually went over to Japan and met with him. And Masaru Emoto gave Master Sha this beautiful recommendation. Dr. Sha is an important teacher and a wonderful healer with a valuable message about the power of the soul to influence and transform all life. Okay, so that is the PowerPoint presentation. We're now going to go into a practice. But first of all, I'm going to check in the chat. Are there any questions or comments? Okay, love and gratitude, everyone. Thank you, Anita. Marie, welcome. Beautiful Portland team. And thank you so much. Beautiful. Hey, Renee, thank you. Thank you. for your thank yous. And thank you from Terry. Okay, thank you. Terry has put the link for the Shaw Research Foundation in there. So if you're interested in participating in a research study, you can click on that, and maybe I'll share the screen later and show you that. Follow Tao, be like water. Yes. Okay. Master Shah's interpretation of Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching. Okay, good. So the link has been put in the chat. Wow, the team's been busy. That's great. Yes, so if you're not yet registered for the Master Shah TV, you can also do it that way. So I'm just going to get the link. I can put it in the chat box as well, or to take you directly to the chapter 8. So many ways that Master Shah makes it easy for us. Okay, so I just put the link for the chapter 8 directly in the chat box there. Vanessa would like to have a copy of the slides, so and so would Dr. Pauline. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to suggest that you, and I'll do this later at the end as well, because we need to practice. This is what Master Shah teaches us, that practice and wisdom are yin and yang, and we need to balance them. So let's do a practice now with the love, peace, harmony field. And this is also available to everyone. I'll put the link for that one in the chat box too. This is available to everyone. And for research participants, you will also be practicing with this. Okay, let me get back here. Link in the chat box here. And now I will open and share. Okay. Okay, so some of you may be familiar with these Tao calligraphies, and they have the beautiful message of love, peace, and harmony. So as we learned earlier, greatest love is one of the 10 greatest qualities of Tao and for humanity, and greatest harmony and peace comes from greatest forgiveness brings inner joy and inner peace. So these are 3 very important messages, and they come with a beautiful song which Master Shah received through the divine. So I invite you now just to have a seat and put your feet flat on the ground. Feel your connection to Mother Earth. Sitting up straight, reaching with the top, for the top of your head, just feeling a little tug from the top of your head. Reach for the higher dimensions with your Bai-Hui acupuncture point at the top of the head. Whole body relaxed. And if you have an area if you're a physical being that is calling for a little bit of extra attention, a little bit of love, a little bit of forgiveness, needs some inner joy, inner peace, just place one hand over the navel. This connects to our ancestors, and one hand over the area that's calling for a little bit of extra attention. And if it's a life situation, or if it's an emotion, or something that you can't easily reach, then just put your hand over your heart. So one hand over the navel, one hand over the heart. That will be our body position. Unless you would like to trace along, because we're going to be playing this animation and listening to the music as well. If you want to trace along, put your fingers in the 5-finger tracing position, just as if you're holding a brush with your fingers, and follow along with the golden ball. And let's say hello. Dear the love, peace, harmony, calligraphy. And dear the song, love, peace, and harmony. We love you, we honor you, we appreciate you. Would you please offer a blessing as we are in the field together for whatever, and then you make your request of what you would like to transform. We're so honored and grateful. We thank you. We cannot thank you enough. Okay, so I'm going to launch the video here. You can follow along with the golden ball, either with your eyes or with fingers. Just be in the field together with a beautiful message of love, Shang Ai, in Mandarin, peace, ping pong, in Mandarin, and harmony. We love peace and harmony into that area of your physical body or of your life, emotions, together in the field. Sing along if you know the words, and if you don't know the words yet, you'll catch on. It's very simple. Master Sha sings it in 3 languages. There's Mandarin.
噜啦噜啦哩，噜啦噜啦啦哩，噜啦噜啦哩，噜啦。 I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Love, peace, and harmony. Love, peace, and harmony.
Imagine the beautiful crystals of water in your own field. As you connect with the love, peace, and harmony message, this Tao Calligraphy, the beautiful song of love, peace, and harmony, sung by Master Shang. Ow, ow, ow. And so let us come back into the space of our gathering this evening. Just tune in. Can you see beautiful crystals in your own field? Can you imagine how beautiful the water in your own being is after being purified in this practice, being nourished with greatest love, peace, and harmony, and the beautiful soul song of love, peace, and harmony. And tune in to whatever it is that you requested. Has there been a shift? Are you noticing something specific to your request? Or maybe you've just noticed something about your mind. Your mind may have become more relaxed, more clear. Your emotions may have settled. Just tune in and notice. And even if you're not noticing anything, know that there has been a change, and you don't need to take a sample of the water from your body and freeze it and look at it under an electronic microscope to know that there's been a change. And just say thank you, thank you, thank you to the Tao Calligraphy of love, peace, and harmony, and the beautiful soul song. Okay, so would anyone like to share any of their experience or any questions or impressions from the first part of the session today? Terry, go ahead. Terry's got a hand up there.
Thank you so much. The first part, I was going back and forth pulling up links, but it's like, I want to hear, I want to hear, I want to hear. So much information. And I was seeing in the chat that I don't know if everybody, but a lot of us were going, wow. So thank you so much. And then the last part, boy, love, peace, harmony is so relaxing for me. I'm not crying. The muscles, the little tiny muscles around my tear ducts, relax. I couldn't wear contact lenses because it was too painful when I was younger, because my eyes are just almost always dry, really dry. Well, they're not when I sing love, peace, and harmony.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Okay. I just put a link in the chat box. I don't know if you have one of these beautiful Tao water bottles. It has some Tao and water on it. It's a double glass. It's got it comes with even a tea strainer if you like to make tea. And importantly, if you have blessed water, for instance, if you're in the research study, or if you click on the link I put into the chat box there, you can actually register to receive the blessings yourself. Just one moment here. There's a schedule, and Francisco is offering the blessings each day of the week. So Monday, one system or one organ or one part of the body, one physical health condition of your choice. Tuesday, one emotional challenge, anger, depression, fear, whatever of your choice. Wednesday, one mental challenge, confusion or memory issue of whatever your choice is. Thursday is one spiritual challenge. Maybe you need more discipline, more trust. Friday is relationship with one person of your choice. Saturday is general appropriate financial blessing. And Sunday, blessing to gain appropriate Tao source wisdom. So Tao water bottle with a Tao blessing in it, a different one for each day of the week. And for those who are in the research study specific to whatever it is that you're wanting to transform. And the Love, Peace, Harmony research study is a wonderful one to introduce new people to the power of the Tao calligraphy of love, peace, and harmony and the Tao song. The only requirement is there's, of course, you have to go through the consent form. But then after that, there are 3 online short little questionnaires to fill out. And the request is that the people would practice twice a day for 15 minutes. So when you listen to the Love, Peace, and Harmony from Master Sha singing to Master Sha singing, that is 15 minutes. And if you do that twice a day, this is the only requirement for the participants of that research study. So it's a great way to introduce people to the power of these practices. So what kind of crystals do you want in your field? Think about that. The next time you have a thought, is it a thought that is one of the 10 Da, greatest love, greatest forgiveness, greatest compassion, greatest light, greatest humility, greatest harmony, greatest flourishing, greatest gratitude, greatest service, greatest enlightenment? It is a word. Is it a word you're sharing with the 10 greatest qualities? Is it an action? Fill your field with these, meld with the Tao source, radiate this out to everyone in your field. Let's create a world of love, peace, and harmony. So we've gone over a little bit to no, we have not. We're just 1 minute before the end of the hour here. Were there any further questions? Oh yes, one last thing I want to put in, I'll put it in the chat box. How you can get a copy of the slides, or a copy of the slides that was in the slides actually, but I'll make it easier. I'll just put it in the chat box. So for a copy of the slides, go to my web page and click on Book a Discovery Call. And you're welcome to book a discovery call. It's 15 minutes, but that way you provide me with your email address. And if you put in the message that you would like a copy of the slides, I will send them to you. So that's kind of my little contact form there. Book a discovery call. It's a little blue button in my web page. Okay, any further questions? We've got some comments here. I did, Renee says, I'm naturally breathing more deeply, much more slowly, and feel more peace. I did have an image of a layer of darkness being released from my heart. It looked like a layer of a negative film lifting away. I requested more heart opening to accept and give greatest love. Yeah, that crystal is in there. It's like Master Shah says, we are all, everyone is a Buddha. It's just that we've got something covering that up. So something's covering our crystal. So let's transform that negative information and let that layer release. That's beautiful, Renee. And Pauline says the love, peace, harmony field
Your
is so
website
gentle.
did not post.
What's that?
Your website did not post.
I didn't? It shows on mine. Okay, let me do. Here we go. Okay, you just have to click on the little arrow. Thank you so much. Okay, and where was I? Dr. Pauline, the love, peace, harmony field is so gentle, yet so powerfully transforming and healing for me. Yeah. Crystals in our body. I had a vision of light, of changing colors. Some weren't even visible colors. Yes, right. This is the thing, the Tao, the source, cannot be seen. But that's why it's beautiful to have these pictures and the animations to help guide us. A lot of it can't be seen. Marie says, I love peace, harmony, meditation, feeling very deep love and compassion for the self-judgment I have previously offered myself. Yes, we want to have compassion for ourselves, love for ourselves, feeling more aware of new opportunities opening up. Beautiful. Okay, so thank you everyone for all of your beautiful comments, and it's been an honor to be with you. Thank you, Terry, once again, and the Portland group for hosting tonight. And thank you all those who, oops. I'll have to, didn't put in my apologies. I didn't put my phone on mute. Okay, and that's the sign anyways, we're over time. Thank you, everyone. Love you all. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Dr.
you,
Hamilton.
Cynthia.
That's
Bye-bye.